Hello, this is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page. And tonight's review is for a film that is very, very unknown because it's a film that never has made the transition as of yet from VHS to DVD. And it is December 2015, and it's still no plans, no news, no nothing. This is a film that's not only not been on DVD yet, but it's also clearly just about impossible to find a VHS copy of this film. Somebody has recently, in the past year or so, put the full length movie on YouTube, and I believe it's still up there. But finding a VHS copy alone of this film is almost impossible. But this is how rare this film is. Now, the film, actually 1978 to 1979, around those 2 years, production and release. And the film is called NOCTURNA. This is an official VHS copy here. Here it is. There's the kind of the font, kind of a cool font, Granddaughter of Dracula. And you can see that awesome artwork right there. And this is a media tape. Okay, you can see the media logo right there on both sides. Okay, took the tape out for this. And you have the back. This is a pretty, worn box. And the tagline is, "From Transylvania to Manhattan, she'll get under your skin." Nocturna. This is a film that does something that a lot of people only talk about, and it melds disco and horror, but not in the way that kind of modern films have tried to do, like The Disco Exorcist and things like that. But this is a real disco horror film in terms of it was done during the disco era. And the soundtrack actually involves real disco bands from that era. Including Gloria Gaynor, Vicky Sue Robinson. I mean, these were some of the big wigs of the disco era. Now, as difficult as it is to find this film at all, the soundtrack, weirdly enough, is rather easy to find and rather cheap to purchase on eBay. It was released on vinyl, double gatefold, beautiful double gatefold vinyl. And the inside has a lavish picture of the lead actress, and it's filled with music all from the film. And this film is, so you can pick that up from eBay right now, the Nocturna double gatefold vinyl soundtrack. This film is filled with disco music. If you like disco, this is if you like disco and horror, you're gonna love this. So filled with disco music throughout the whole film, dance sequences, club sequences, and it's hard to find out a lot of information about this film, but I believe it was filmed in Philadelphia, but possibly some sections in New York City as well. Now, in the film, we have the infamous John Carradine. He was in a lot of films. He had that really bad rheumatoid arthritis, it looks like, in his hands. We also have Yvonne De Carlo, who was actually at the top billing of this film, from the Munsters, and she was also in that horror film Midnight, okay? But the lead in this film was also the producer, the executive producer of the film, and her name was Nye Bonet. And Nye Bonet is artistically drawn right here on the cover. Now, she had a very interesting, exotic, foreign type look, this girl. And supposedly, this was one of two movies that she did. I believe she did some modeling as well, and then she went AWOL. Then she went completely off the map. Now, she was foreign, she was exotic. She had, some would think that she didn't act well. I actually really love the way she acts in this film. It's kind of like just dreamy and weird and spacey, very, very spacey. Her eyes are spacey, she's spacey, everything's very spacey, in the film. The film itself definitely incorporates a lot of black humor, a lot of kind of like black horror humor type of vibe to it. Just picture a gothic vampire story in the city, disco, with a love story, with a coming of age story, and then mix in a healthy dose of grindhouse, kind of 42nd Street pimp, hustling hookers. Mix all that in together and actually go into some real clubs in either Philadelphia or New York City at that time and really be in there with the disco action. And really being there with the disco action. You're mixing those clubs in. I mean, this is what you got with Nocturna. And dancing is a part of the film. It's also an erotic film. The lead, Nye Bonet, is completely naked. There's like a bathtub sequence in the film. The shots are actually really good. I mean, this is an old VHS copy, but you can get the perspective that, gleamy, kind of glistening shots, especially with the disco lights. And actually, there's a black guy in this film who I believe plays a pimp, who's also in the adult Cinderella film with Rainbow. I believe that's the same guy. So you might see some people that you know from other exploitation films or other kind of adult films and things like that, and you will find them in Nocturna. This is a very interesting film. It's weird. The dialogue is kind of outlandish at times, kind of outrageous, and it just has an awesome vibe. If you took Saturday Night Fever and you mixed it with like some kind of gothic, low-budget horror movie from the 70s, okay? And, you kind of mixed it with some, like, exploitation, low budget from the 70s. You have Nocturna, granddaughter of Dracula. Weird acting, outrageous acting from some characters, really interesting characters, but you kind of have this, like I said, coming of age, love story, romance, dancing, horror, and some of the most kick-ass 70s real animation you've ever seen. Yes, folks, looks like a freaking old arcade. Looks like the Scooby-Doo episodes. Yes, there is animation in this film that'll rock your world and go straight into the camera. That's all I gotta say. This is a really, really awesome movie. I've loved it for a very long time. One of my favorite movies ever since I've seen it. How can you go wrong with that animation? How can you go wrong with a vampire story that's kind of gothic and 70s? How can you go wrong with the disco? Real disco. Love is just a heartbeat away, baby. Get the soundtrack too. This is Nocturna, Granddaughter of Dracula, 1978, 1979, Transylvania, New York City, Philadelphia. Folks, performances by the Disco Queens, Gloria Gaynor, Vicky Sue Robinson. This is in 70s animation. Wow. Oh my gosh. Running time 85 minutes, folks. If you can't find a VHS copy, and if it never gets on DVD and it's lost forever, at least somebody put it on YouTube. Thank you for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page. Feel free to check out my own films at youtube.com/poopydiarrhea. This was Nocturna. If what you hear sounds good to you, it's time to turn the lights off. Get completely naked, put your dancing shoes on, and let's watch a little of the disco. Transylvania.